Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the sixth episode of Isolation Station Discs. This week we have my friend all the way over there in Australia. It is.
I'm Sophie. I was a project manager until 3 weeks ago for Squeeze, which is where I met you, Dave.
That's right.
And a few things have changed since then, and I am now just Sophie who enjoys music and who is looking for a new job, I guess, and a new beginning. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
That's fantastic. Okay, so tell us one thing that you've started doing since lockdown started. And what is lockdown like in Australia? Is it the same as us here? We're not allowed to go out. We're allowed to go out once a day to do some exercise, but what's it like there?
I think I would start with saying that it's pretty confusing in Australia to work out what lockdown really means because it changes depending on which state you're living in. So a lot of people I find it quite confusing to understand what rule applies to them or doesn't apply to them. But the one thing that is probably quite admirable is that people, before being forced to lock down, actually decided to go in be a bit more aware and conscious about what they were doing. And I think that was really Australia looking at Europe and saying, okay, well, this is really serious and we should take it seriously. So yes, we are allowed to go out once a day as well, to go and exercise, go to the shops, go to the doctors, this kind of stuff. And you can see one friend. If you are in a relationship and you don't live together, you are entitled to go and spend some time with them, which I think is a bit of a difference with Europe, if I'm getting this right. But yeah,
That's right.
but that's pretty much it. Yeah, but everybody's working from home, and yeah, and you've got to queue outside the shops, just like you guys have to do it in Europe, from what I'm understanding, and be
Yes.
patient.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, what have you started doing that you didn't do before lockdown?
Break quite a lot of things. I just never really took the time to be at home before lockdown. So lots of things I've been wanting to do for a while, but reading more, really cooking, actually cooking way more than I used to. I actually had a cooking date yesterday with a friend who is interstate, and we spent 3 hours working on the same recipe. She's in New South Wales and I'm in Victoria, um, writing quite a bit, playing music a bit more, or anything that takes more than 20 minutes, that takes a bit more of an attention span that I didn't seem to have before lockdown. I've started doing it. That's quite enjoyable. Yeah.
Fantastic. What one piece of advice could you give to people who now find that they can't go out as much?
It's hard to give advice, but I guess the one thing is do not be kind to yourself. Do not, to me, the learning so far, and I'm sure there'll be some other learnings, but one of the things was to, it's okay to feel crap and it's okay to feel a bit down, and don't be hard on yourself for feeling down, and learn how to deal with it. I don't know, try to embrace the fact that it's going to be a bit like that, and just don't make it worse for yourself. Um, do the things that make you happy. If it means that you won't stay in bed a bit longer than you would, or that you should, do it. Rest up. Take the time. Just let time do things.
That's great advice, and we've had this similar advice from a number of people doing this already. Um, Staying in bed longer, yeah, great advice. Why not?
Mm.
Why not? Okay, but then we're not here to talk about lockdown. We're here to talk about music. So
Yeah.
um, let's talk about your music. So tell me about a song that was really, really important to you when you were 18 years old.
So I had to pick Morchiba, and I picked Otherwise by Morchiba. Um, I still do, but I really, really loved this song when I was 18. It was on some weird CD compilation of songs from maybe, I don't know, the 80s, the 90s. I don't even know when it was re-released, but it was on that CD with another 15 songs that I had never heard. And I used to listen to that song at my lunch break when I was when I was working in Switzerland, on my CD player and with my headphones, and there was always a song that was playing on repeat. I had never heard about Morchiba, and bit by bit, I guess I started getting into them a bit more, and I remember buying first Morchiba album and loving all the other songs by Morchiba. And eventually I saw them live, again in Switzerland, and it was just absolutely amazing. It was I love that chick, the lead singer. She was absolutely fabulous on stage, and since then, more Chiba has always been, on my playlists or somewhere at the back of my mind. Yeah,
Fantastic. Fantastic.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay, so next, a song that you brought with you from childhood. Um, tell us how you got that song. Did it come from your parents or one of your friends or?
Yeah, mate. It's funny because I look back at when I was younger and as a child, I had my dad listening to a lot of rock and I don't know in British, bands. In my mom was really into French music and lyrics and stuff. And but my dad was pretty won the game of who can play it loudest. So on Sunday mornings, he would always be playing a record, and I definitely remember Clapton and Layla in particular, being played over and over and over again. And I think that's almost one of the songs that helped me learning English, actually, trying to understand what it was that he was saying, in this song. And yeah, and my dad is still a huge Eric Clapton's fan. And yeah, and I, same, just lovely memories of, yeah, waking up in my bed on Sunday morning, hearing the music coming up from downstairs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, I love Eric Clapton as well, and I was at university with some French people, and
Hmm.
we shared music, and they introduced me to a guy called JJ Cale, who
Okay.
probably you may know of. Your dad probably definitely knows of, but you
Ask
should
him.
check out JJ Cale. Uh, One of the best bluesmen of all time. Absolutely love him. He's up there with people like Kuda, in my opinion. Um, so let's move on. Tell me about something that new that you've discovered in the past 12 months. So maybe
Let me
it's
think.
Happy Mondays. We went to see the Happy Mondays last year, and
Oh man, that was such a lovely year. That was, yeah, absolutely amazing night. And actually, that could have qualified. You're right. It could have qualified because I had heard of them, and I knew a few songs, but just never really paid attention, more than that. I would say it's nice and lovely to listen to, but seeing them on stage was definitely, an experience and a memory that, that I will take with me for quite a while. They were absolutely amazing, and that place, the Forum,
oh
in
yeah,
Melbourne.
cracking venue. But it
It is.
doesn't qualify because that was 13 months ago, I'm afraid.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. Well, maybe okay. There you go. But I guess, it's, yeah. I came across Jealous Guy, and that's what I was saying before. I may not be able to say his name properly, but by Donny Hathaway, and not by John Lennon, because I knew the John Lennon, song, but I had never listened to that version. And I don't know, it was just randomly being played on my YouTube, or maybe on, Spotify as a suggestion. And I've been listening to this song daily since then, and I absolutely adore it. It's just very moving. I love the words, love the blues, and it love the soul, and yeah, that's been my, was the choice for today. It's been a hard choice.
Yeah, everybody I've asked to do this have said, "Wow, this is really hard. Don't make me do
Mm,
this again." But there we
yeah.
go. Okay, live music is absolutely critical as far as I'm concerned. It's the
Mhm.
way that music's supposed to be performed. So, tell us about a live track that you a were either there or b really wish you were there. And what is that track?
Well, same thing. Like, I had so many. It was actually a fun game to be going through because it was a bit of an occasion to look back at, moments that you've spent with friends and going to gigs. And I was actually thinking about when the three of us went to that gig together in Melbourne, for example. But funnily enough, I picked one that I didn't get a chance to attend, and that's Paolo Nutini playing at Glastonbury and singing Candy. Um, I love this version because you can really hear the crowd coming in and singing the words, and you really feel, it feels like you're part of it all, and you're just like on stage or somewhere in the audience, but it's just like everything's coming together, and it's absolutely amazing. And also, it's Glastonbury, which I was hoping to attend this year. So I kind of had vague plans to visit probably you guys in the UK. But and I think that's also why I kind of selected this, because it's funny, we don't realize how much music can bring people together. And actually, it can be a reason to decide to go and travel somewhere, to go and see gig and someone on stage, and listen to that person with people that you care about and like. So yeah, that's why I picked this song, because I think it really yeah, it's got that thing of like being together and having a great time together and being moved by something you love.
That's excellent. I promise I will take you to Glastonbury one year. It's not on this year; they cancelled it, which I'm absolutely
Okay,
gutted about. But it's on next
sure.
year, so come next year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm writing it down.
fantastic. So looking at your list, I honestly thought there was going to be some Arctic monkeys on there, and the reason
No.
is that I went to Melbourne and some guy came up to me and said, "I need you to go to a meeting tomorrow." And then at the end of the day, he says, "I can't even go. I'm going to put you in a taxi with this girl," and it turned out it was you. And in that
Yeah.
taxi journey, we sat there and we talked about the Arctic monkeys, and I told you about my recollection of being at their very first gigs and things like that, and you just got really excited about it. So why is
Oh.
there no Arctic monkeys on your list?
Well, because I feel like anyone that actually really knows me would go and say, "Oh, it's got to be on there." So anyone who would hear my name and who is a friend of mine would say, "Surely you've put the Arctic Monkeys down." So as a surprise effect, I decided not to put them. But yeah, no, absolutely huge fan. Probably of the album that I really loved was AM, which arguably people are saying was not their best album, but their least rock and roll album. But I love Alex Turner. I saw them live. I think just I was going to see them, if I'm not wrong, when we met, or had just seen them. I'm not sure. It
Yeah,
would have been
yeah,
with
you've just
insane.
seen them. Yeah,
And absolutely love those guys. Yeah, it's a bit of it's a mix of all I love about music. I don't know, some pretty cool bass guitar and cool words, and yeah, some I don't I and like I've said to you, I was really tempted to put them down, and then I was just okay, 10 songs, but yeah, pretty regret. I pretty should have had them.
too late now. Too late
Too
now.
late.
So,
Too
out of
late
the
now.
rest of the tracks on there, which one track would you say to people? Really, you have to listen to this one. This one's my bag. This is my track on there.
Again, difficult to really say, but I depends a bit on the mood you're in. I mean, I've got "Jamming" by Stevie Wonder, and "Jamming" is pretty song that I listen to when I want to feel a bit happier and have a bit of energy coming through. But some songs I came across as I was traveling in different, yeah, in Spanish, and I don't understand all the words and stuff, but there is something about the instruments. But I would say there is one by Lou Doyon, who is Jane Birkin's daughter. I'm not sure if you know her. She's pretty famous British singer. And the song is called "So Still," and it goes. I guess what it is about is meeting people and trying to convince them to do the wrong things to you because you want to be in charge. So that really reminds me. I guess I can really identify to this, and I find she's a great writer. And actually she's got a show on Instagram at the moment since lockdown, where she exchanges with people and shares songs and poetry every day. And I find that she's just got a way with words that is absolutely amazing. So I would say So Still by Ludwig, but don't expect to be really happy by the end of it. Very mellow, just very mellow. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so with lockdown, as you've already said, you've been doing a lot more reading. Um,
Mhm.
what book can you recommend to people that you don't think that they've read before?
So I picked, yeah, so like you've said, one of the things I've started doing a bit more is reading poetry again. And that was great because poetry is a little bit quicker. You don't necessarily need to sit down for 3 hours, really get into it. And I picked Leonard Cohen and the Book of Longing.
Oh,
So
it's a fantastic book. Yeah, yeah,
oh,
really good, really good.
absolutely, he's just a genius. Same thing, like it's just his way with words. It's just everything that is by him, music, poetry, whatever, is just absolutely awesome. So yeah, by all means get, and it's a Penguin edition, so it's not too expensive of a book. But yeah, highly recommend, highly recommend, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I would
Fantastic,
say the recommendation.
fantastic. So
Yeah.
when all of this is over and we're allowed to go out again, what
Mm-hmm.
are you really looking forward to doing?
So many things, but probably the main thing, I was due to go back to France when this all happened really a few weeks ago. So I guess, and I had friends getting married and all that got canned. So I just want to be able to board a plane and go and see my friends and family in France and in Europe. That's really the first thing. And I love airports and I love traveling. So I just want to be at an
You love
airport.
airports. Wow.
I just
Okay,
want to get
well,
in.
when that happens, do come and see me.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm definitely coming to Europe. That's and it's funny. That's been one of the funny things of going. Oh, we are actually really far in Australia. Once it becomes a little bit hard to travel, you realize it. But yeah. So that in really just sitting down with my friends, having a wine, having a conversation, having a debate, whatever it is, or actually agreeing, whatever. But have all the people that I love together at once. Um, can't wait for this. Can't wait for it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. And I hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks so much, too, and thank you for keeping us all entertained and reaching out. Yeah, it feels nice to yeah, to find out about other people and to know that you're being remembered about. Thank you.